So I don't know how to make this work so that, nope, not that. I am trying. That didn't help me any, did it now? So today we are going to do work on reorganizing the studio over here, which is what we're doing today. We're doing that today. So we're here on my iPad so that you can join me while I'm over here dismantling the computer that usually broadcasts here. That's what we're doing today. Not you. I'm not talking to you. The problem, of course, is I can't see anything on here because it really wishes me to I'm not you can hear me. You can hear me, I guess. So I can't for some reason see the chat boxes anymore. I don't know what happened to them. Ah, there we go. Okay. I can't see me, but I can at least now see Brent saying that that was his idea. I don't know why I can't add. Oh, I can add the chat overlay. There we go. There we go. Now I can see. Good. Now you can see it too. There you are. And there you are. Get out of the box, George. So George has been extraordinarily happy to be involved in all of these boxes. There are so many boxes here. But, and you are definitely involved in all these boxes, you little pest. And he is too. What a little floof. Anyway, I already put in one bracket. You can see this right to the side of George's head here. I put in one bracket. This is where this monitor is going to go. I guess I should do that. This monitor. Then I've got a second bracket that I'm building. That's right here. And this arm is going to hold the second monitor. That one there. So today is construction day on my show. I'm glad you guys could all join me. So I'm just going to have you watch while I do this because I've got to, of course, power down my computer for this. So sadly, you guys can keep me all company while I do this. I am definitely live on my channel. Oh, man. You know what? I probably don't actually need to shut down my computer, but I probably do need to turn off my monitors. So they're going to go down, and that'll work, and we'll start there. The other thing that needed to happen was this monitor arm is needs to have. This is going to be on the table while I do this. But the thing I need to do right now is unplug my monitor, this monitor, so that I can move it. So here we go. Monitor 1. Let's start talking about this monitor. This monitor was built many years ago by LG Corporation. I think I'm easily entertained here. The funny part about this is how fascinated George is with this entire process. He thinks it's awesome. So, we're working over here on this side, and I'm trying to get into this over here. This is the place where I have my screwdriver. Because we're going to have to take the 4 screws off of the back of the monitor. I don't want to do it. Why is that sadly? Well, so, no, I don't actually remember what I was saying. It was sadly. Something sadly, not George. George is not sadly. George is a good kitty. I mean, he's a goofball, but he's a good goofball. All right. Now, if you will bear with me for a moment, I'm getting some of these tools out right here on the table. Just saying, I might need a bigger screwdriver. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. So, let me go on ahead and, oh, Pete, I will be right back. George, entertain them. All right. Now I have a bigger screwdriver. And to go use the enlargement ray to enlarge my screwdriver. Now we're going to take this monitor off of its mount. All right. There we go. And number 3. And number 4. All right. And the first monitor is right here. This mount has this kind of nifty VESA equipment thing going for it. So I will replace it on this mount. Right? Because, I mean, how do you store these things if you don't shrink them back down, right? All right. I have a number of little widgets all over the place here. Don't want to scratch my monitor. All right. So, take monitor 1, put it right here. Make sure that the VESA adapter is correct because it's got a little hook. So we'll put that there. And we'll grab the 4 screws that we just pulled out and we'll put them back in. Here. Okay. Oh no, it shrunk again. Yes, I did. It is a both funny and sad episode of Star Trek that it's referring to. However, after that episode aired, one of my favorite things that happened was a buddy of mine and I would go around school for days and we'd give us the Felicium where this man dies. You know, so funny. It was a funnier joke to us because nobody knew what the hell we were talking about. So that made it extra funny. All right. The VESA mount is now on to the back here. This guy, by the way, is secured to the wall with these huge, and it's very hard to see, these huge lug nuts that are inside the stud. They ended up getting mounted in the stud. So all right, there we go. That's up. There are two screws that go into this. Here, this guy right here. I'm putting that screw in. There we go. And the next one goes over here. The next one doesn't go over here because this screwdriver is difficult. This screw is holding, you know? This card doesn't rotate, no? Card did not rotate. All right. There we go. Monitor 1 goes here. Look at that. All right. That looks great. Now I'll have to figure out how to put my lights behind it. But at least that works. Yes. So, whew. So the guy who's in that episode, that's in that scene that you're talking about there, is Merrick Buttrick, who played Kirk's son in Star Trek 2 and 3. Sadly, the guy died of AIDS just shortly after that episode was filmed. And so that's always been a sad thing. All right. And yes, one down, one to go. The next one's on an arm. So here is the arm piece. And here is the VESA connector. So first, I'm going to make sure it fits properly. And it does. So I know that I need to do it this way. This guy's mostly assembled. I assembled it last night so that it would be up and running. But we're going to have to do some prep work real quick. Because I got this piece, which, I mean, this is like something out of the game Clue. And it's like Mr. Mustard in the library with the monitor mount, which is actually a very good thing because I would have been very disappointed if it turned out that this didn't have much in the way of weight to hold a monitor, you know? Even though, I mean, you know, we talk about the monitors from our era. Yeah, a lot of twisting going on here. We talk about the monitors from our era, which were insanely huge and ridiculous, and and stuff like that. So I gotta admit, if I was doing this with my monitors from 1993, this would be a massive undertaking. So at least that's a plus. First thing we're going to do is remove the microphone assembly, because the microphone's going to live in a different location. But it comes off first because it can just sit over here and wait. Second thing we're going to do is, like the other guy, take that off and take that off. We'll take the microphone assembly off as well. Because this guy is the clamp that holds the microphone assembly on. Then we need the grown-up screwdriver. All right, we'll unscrew this. Screw number 2, number 3, and 4. Problem is, this screwdriver is not magnetic. It's my computer screwdriver, which I use for computer work. Because of that...
Okay, for screwdriver, I recommend
no,
screwdriver.
computer, stop. Thank you.
Okay, I've stopped the stream.
Thank you. Yep, having discussions with Alexa again. Now that my kid is back in school, it's just me and Alexa all day long. There we go. Now, at number 2 here. Every time I disconnect a monitor, the computer keeps rerouting. Stop. All right. Here's the second monitor. Yeah, it's true. I actually do have a name for this particular machine. It's named Kittywake. Because the old computer, not you.
I didn't get that.
That's all right, you didn't have to. The old machine was named Tamerlan. So this machine is named Kittywake, naturally. Okay, putting in the screws on this monitor. There we go. So for those of you who are watching for the first time, this is not what my show normally is about. My show is normally about me drawing. But what had happened was I had my monitors right here and my camera right there. So while I was in my show, I would have to look this way to read what people were saying, and look this way to talk to the camera. So now what I'm doing is I bought a wall mount for this monitor so that it'll be directly above this monitor, and I'm going to put the camera right in between, just like that. And when we do, from then on, I can just draw like this and then look up to read and talk to the camera, and look up to read and talk to the camera, and draw like this and look up to read and like that, and not have to worry about having the awkward, "You're right, that is an interesting thing you are saying," where I turn 90 degrees out to talk to people, which seemed very strange. So that's what we're doing. I had this really pretty double-armed heavy base that held both of my monitors, and I've had it for many years now. My bestie gave it to me a while back when he shipped off this last time for his last deployment, and so he gave me this really nice double-armed thing. But frankly, all it is it locks my monitors to this location. It cannot move. And I have also put in this camera here temporarily, knowing that I was going to make this upgrade. So it was only lightly secured, and it's also why it was sideways, for those of you who were wondering why I had a sideways camera going on a couple of nights back. This guy is the old camera that I used to use, and I'm going to place it in a better location now that we've got this going. So we've got that. We've got everything dismounted. All the power cables dismounted. And this mount is now out. I'm going to give this to my buddy Kevin, who's also Geek Tank's engineer. And that is going to go there. This guy then is going to replace this right here. Pull that pin, place this guy like this. Harder than it looks because there's a power cord there. Power block. Let's see what I can do here. George is right here. He's watching everything I'm doing intently. That's not probably secured enough. Right there. So let's not do that. Feel like our best bet is just going to be right here. Okay, we're gonna go like this. And bolt this guy down right here. This may end up being something where I'm going to have to do some work real quickly here. Because we have a clamp that holds my power cord on, or my power strip onto the side of this desk. So I'm going to pull the power strip off so I can bolt this guy down. There we go, much better. All right. That's not going anywhere. All right. Now this is the cable for monitor 2, right here. It's power feed. And it's cable. Now we'll get the arm on. Arm on. Yeah, right? Sadly, there are some constants in Geek Tank. And one of them is, oops, I've screwed this up. What has happened? What have I done to myself? All right. I like that this thing needs alien wrenches. All right. There we go. All right. There's some extra bolts on this mount. It might be cool to see if I can't try to put the monitor stuff on that mount. Okay, this monitor slides onto here. And then it's sad. It's a sad moment. Okay. There is a big bolt thingy that has now fallen out on the table somewhere. The cat's like, I'm in. There's a big cap bolt that goes on top of this thing so it won't fall. All I need to do is find it. Did you steal it, George? There it is. I am routinely humored by the fact that they did not, in fact, include a wrench for the bolt. They included a wrench for everything else, but not for this bolt, cap bolt, which sits on top of the mount here. I find that funny. Okay. Alien wrenches for all the locks. There we go. And that'll hold that in. This guy can be right here. And I've cleared most of this desk. So now what I've done, right, I'll edit it all in post. Now what I've got is I've got monitor 1 there, monitor 2 there, monitor 3 there. I think I'm going to have to reorganize all of my monitors, obviously. Right. Got lost in shipment. It's only the most important bolt. I don't know why they wouldn't, they might have forgotten it. Luckily, I'm just going to ratchet it down. They didn't include it, but I've got ratchet set, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Are you worried about it, George? You're not worried about it, are you? George, on the other hand, is somewhat freaked out about the amount of noise that has gone on, which is funny because this isn't a very loud project. But I don't know if I've got deep sockets for this, though. There we go. I don't know if any of you guys caught that, But there are some benefits to having been a gearhead when you're a kid. And one of them is I just went over there and pulled the right socket for that nut over there without actually having to try 5 sockets. Because I've gotten to the point now where I just know which socket it is. Okay, looks like monitor arm 2 is on. We'll pull this back to here, like so. Pull this back to here, where I want this to be. Once I decide exactly how I want this guy to be, I think this is what I want right here. I'm going to go on ahead and bolt the assembly down with the alien wrench. Right. There we go. This I can live like this. And then we'll give it power. Kind of doing that assembly thing. You got power, you got power. And you've got video. This guy back here. Like that. And let's see what we got. We have a heartbeat. We do. Excellent. That one's the easy one. Right? Once you get to the point where you've been working on something for long enough, it gets to the point where you can just go, oh, that's a 7/16 nut, or that's a 3/8 nut, or it's a 1/2 inch nut, or all kinds of interesting things. Okay, so now we've got one monitor. This is the other one. This is the hard one because it's going to have to be, yeah, ta-da. It's going to have to be, I'm going to have to rerun the wires up because they went this way. Now I'm going to have to run them up that way back through this table. So I'm going to be crawling under the table for a minute. I'll try to talk to you guys while I'm crawling under the table. Hopefully, I won't lose you or, the monitor. So this is one. That's the cable. Here's our cable. It's going through right here. Find which way it's threaded. Okay. First step, I'm going to pull it out of this holder, which is holding all the cables together. Because I actually do try to practice decent cable maintenance. The second thing I need is its power line, which has dropped at some point. I don't know where it dropped to. So, I'm going to find the power cable. There it is. All right, power cable. This guy's going to switch to the other power strip. So that'll go there. Okay. All right. So I've moved the power cable. My monitor's power cable is over here now. So now I've got to put it on this power strip so that it can go up into the monitor. This is a little bit more. It's difficult because this is not exactly the biggest space in the world down here. We're getting into this tight area down here is not simple. Okay. Doesn't help. It looks like all my power outlets are being used. And I don't have any to spare on this side. So, let's find out what we got going on. Because I feel like I can move somebody like you. Okay. Hopefully, this only kills the light. Doesn't, in fact. Kill anything else. Okay, so one light's disconnected from that spot. We're gonna pull that one, put it over there. Now, this guy goes right here. Scotty, can you give me more power? I can't do it, sir. You cannot change the laws of physics. Okay. What good is watching this if there isn't a Star Trek quote? You cannot change the laws of physics. All right. One piece down. Now, we just need to get the video line over here. All right. Whew. So that was a little bit interesting. I had to take the power line. There weren't enough outlets over here on the right side. I have an awful lot of lights and things like that, as you can see. And I had to take one of these little lamps, the guy that sits on this side, and I'm gonna have to swap him because there's not enough outlets over there. I like that you've moved now to Twitch, Brent. Which I appreciate. You're keeping the Twitch stream going. All right. I have to figure out what to do with this guy at some point, but not right now. All right. Next thing we've got to do is get this over there. So now we've got to get the HDMI cable. That's our next line. So we're going to do this, crawl back under here. The thing about my HDMI cables is that they're already looped in to a number of these guards under here that keep the cable straight. there are a lot of cables in this computer rig. And so a lot of wires going up and down and up and down and up and down. And all I'm doing is getting seasick. Okay. Got power. And we've got video. Let's swing this back out. Plug in power. Plug in video. All right. Let's see what we got now. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And we're live. That's what we're looking for. All righty. Whew. You're on both. Well, I appreciate you being on both. Okay, so now we've got all 3 of my monitors are in this zone now. I draw on this monitor, and it's put at a, I don't know, like a 30-degree angle. And so it's a good monitor for drawing. I like drawing there, and it's a fine place. I wanted to put this monitor above it. It looks good. The next thing we're going to have to do is put the camera emplacement in. And that's a little bit more, I guess, hairy is the word. Because that needs to go between these 2 monitors in that little spot right there in the middle. And I'll have to figure that out. The lights, I'm just going to clamp onto the arm. Since they're LEDs, they don't generate a lot of heat, which is a good thing. So since they don't generate a lot of heat, it's not a problem putting them behind the monitor directly and having them in direct contact with the monitor. If they were incandescents, I would never do that because, of course, it would just melt the monitor. So there you go. We're only going to have an hour show today because really there's only so much of ConstructoVision that you can watch. And I didn't want to leave my main system up and running while doing this because obvious reasons. It would just end up with ConstructoVision, or you would end up with us losing monitor and gaming monitor all the time. So we're only going to do a short show today while I get all of this squared away, but the monitors are in place. So that's our new design here. I might probably move this monitor a little bit more this way, but I really do like seeing the fan. I can, except that won't work in Zoom calls. I can flip it in OBS, but I'd have to load OBS to just run a Zoom call. And that seems really out there. It's actually not a problem. The mount that I've got is Flexi mount. It's that, it's got kind of like this arm right here that this guy's on. And it's, so it's very flexible. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the light one way because it's got 2 arms, and on one arm it's got a mount for the camera, and then the other one it's got a ring light. I'm going to run the light one way and then run the arm with the camera the other direction. And then they'll both kind of split like a Y behind there. And that'll give me a light that's not direct anymore because I've been having this direct light and it's been kind of washing me out. Not like the sunlight isn't right here, but you get the idea. So let me give that a shot. And then, like I said, I've got to mount the 2 lights behind it that go either direction on that monitor that bounce light into this area and keep it from being a dark corner of doom. So those are the things we got to do next. But that's going to be fidgety, and we're going to have to fuss with it and, and stuff like that. And frankly, my poor little iPad's only at 33%, so it's not going to make it much longer on this one. And I don't know where my iPad charger went for the table over here because we have a lot of things going on. A lot of little tools and fidgety things everywhere. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm pleased that that monitor is up and running. That's a good thing. That monitor is up and running. And actually, I have this TV as a fourth monitor. So really, this one, and this one, and that one can be 4 monitors, but that's really low res. It's not an HDMI. It's not a 4K television. So it's the oldest television in the house, but it did have an HDMI port. So, and I can hold 4 monitors on this computer's card. So, well, you know, I've plugged it in, which is great because I can now, if you're sitting over on the couch over here, you could watch TV, and I can just run it from my computer. But now I've freed up this side of my desk. All the way to here is now open and free, and we're able to do more with it. So that's going to be great. So that's a big plus. I freed up a ton of room doing this, and like I said, I'll give Kevin that other mount, and he can just take it. He's actually going to be here today, so that'll be great. So there you go, guys. Construction day, and I keep saying I'm going to come back to illustration 8 tomorrow. But these mounts came in last night, and I was like, oh, I better do this now, or I'll never do it. I'll never do it. I know that. And so I went on ahead and did this now while I could. So there we go. Computer's been upgraded to 32 gigs of onboard memory, and my monitors have been upgraded now.
Here's
So-
something I found on the web.
No, I don't need any help over there. Thanks, computer. Stop.
32.
Thank you.
Here's something I found on the web.
Computer, stop. Just me and Alexa. All day. Every day. Help me. Just kidding. Okay. Well, I've taken my screwdriver and done all this work, but I think it might be stuck in large mode now because there's no shrinky ray. I can't see my shrinky ray. Oh well. That's a bummer. Right? Okay. Well, there we go, guys. Constructovision. Wonder where I'm going to put my keyboard. Because there's like a level difference between those two desks. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Brent. Actually, that's kind of one of the reasons why I like getting on the show every day is you guys are out there somewhere and, you know, we can talk and chat and stuff can, you know, happen, and it's a good idea. And I'm here if you need me. You know, it's one of those things. So, all right, I'm going to go on ahead and end this show. I'll see you all tomorrow at the news station over here, and it should be really nice and neat in theory. The hard part's done. All the monitors are up. That was the big deal. That involved nails and screws, and it didn't involve nails. It involved really big lag screws, which required me to tap the holes with a bit, a drill. I had to drill tap the holes, which was always exciting. Luckily, I have power tools, which is important. Everybody should have power tools. I think they're great. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow for illustration 8, and keep your eyes on the stars.